Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's lesson, we want to talk about on how to create a wood plank table. So let us get some picture and have a better idea on how it looks like roughly. So you can go to Pinterest and search for some wood plank table, and this is what we got from the search. So it's kind of rugged, rustic, old with some damage, and the structure could be simple, and we could pair with metal legs, metal structure legs. So it's pretty simple, not too complicated. So now let's get back to Maya, and we'll go ahead and start now. So first we'll like to go to Poly Modeling and click on this so we can get a cube from there. And unlike in 3ds Max, it creates a cube straight away rather than allowing you to drag and click and pull around. So now I would like to click W to move it up and press R for scale and scale it so that we got a bigger pieces of that table. So I think it looks nice. And we move it up to a certain height so that we can put our legs later. Okay, so W is move, E is rotate, R is a scale. And to rotate the views, to navigate the scene, we can hold alternate, left click to rotate, alternate middle click to move around, pan around the cameras, alternate right click, drag, hold those two buttons to zoom in or out. Okay, so once we're done with the basic table, so let's create another one, cube. And I would like to use this and create a leg for our table. Pressing R for scale and scale it down just a bit and put it somewhere here, kind of close to the edge, but I leave a bit of gap over here because I want to make some pillar structure over here to support, like right there. Okay, so now let me select vertex. So hold right click, so it allows you to choose different components. We call it the sub components. So we will be choosing vertex, select the vertex. And now I would like to pull it all the way down to the ground. But if you're unsure that whether it's clipping through the ground or it stays right there on the ground perfectly, we can look at the lines here. So once the line starts to penetrate through the boxes, then it means we are going through the ground. So let's pull that back just a little bit. Okay, there we go. But if you want to have the most accurate level, we can hold spacebar, left click Maya, goes to front view and zoom in. Alternate right click to zoom in. Then we can place it right there. Hold spacebar, left click Maya, slide up, goes back to perspective. So from here, I would like to move over to the other side so that we got some designs for the table legs. Right click back to object mode. And now I would like to make a copy to the other side, but holding shift and make a copy wouldn't do like much. So I can either make a copy and rotate 360, or I can duplicate and mirror over. So for this simple exercise, I'm gonna shift and drag, make a copy. And to rotate, I will hold down my E key, left click, hold it, and turn on discrete rotate. So if we turn on discrete rotate, we can see whenever we rotate, it gives us the perfect degree, perfect value, round figure, without the decimals and the dots. So this is good. So let's go to top view, hold spacebar, left click Maya, go to top view, click number 4. So we can check and make sure they are both here. and hold Shift key to select the other legs. We can make a clone to the other side. Just roughly there. It doesn't have to be perfect accuracy. So back to perspective. Click number 5 again. So now this is what we got. And I want to continue to build the structures, so I'll click on a new box and pull over. Press R for scale. Scale it down. Scale it longer. Scale it shorter. And move it up. Just like that. We have to make sure it sticks firmly close to the legs. And after that, I want to make a clone over. So go to front view, hold Shift key to make a clone, zoom in, or you can click F. F will focus and zoom this so that it fits to the screen. You can pull over just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now back to here, Shift and make a clone, pull over. So it's time for us to make a support that it connects this to. I do not want to make it like too big in chunks, so I scale it smaller and hold Shift key to copy over, just like that. We can Shift and clone the table. Press R for scale, scale it down, scale it flatter, and move it up. And scale again, press R to scale. Okay, so there we go. We completed the table. And this seems like a basic, very basic set. And I wish to make these edges look slightly better. So I will combine these four. So hold Shift key to select multiple objects. One more time, select this, hold Shift key to select all, the 4 legs, and go to Mesh and Combine. And as for this and this, hold Shift key and select both, Mesh and Combine. Select this and this. Hold Shift key to select both. Sorry, I'm not too sure what I'm talking, but anyways, let's continue. Okay, combine. Yeah, sorry for the mistakes. And back to here. Okay, this is on its own. All right. So to make the edges look better, we can go to Edit Mesh, Bevel. So Bevel will smooth out the edges. So because just now it was like a very sharp edge poly, so right now after bevel it looks better and it has a bit of highlights on all the edges. And if we go to here, show render shadings, it's under shadings, wireframe unshaded, so we can see the lines when we're modeling. So I think this is better. This will greatly benefit whenever you want to understand the whole thing, like the stuff that you built, and while you're working around. And let's see if we can make it to 2. So making it to 2, it's certainly better. Okay, rounder. Same goes to this, bevel 0.2, segment 2. Same goes to that. Bevel 0.2, segment 2, and lastly the table. Edit Mesh, bevel 0.2, 2. Okay, so even though we put 0.2 for the bevel distance, but you can see this big chunk has larger area and then this has small areas because we scale it down. Okay, so if we want everything to be equal, we have to delete the history, but we do not want to make it too complicated for now. So you just understand that, okay, we use bevel to smooth out the edges. That's it. So next, after we have done with this basic stuff, we'll need to apply the UVs, and we need to look for suitable textures that we can apply to our table. So now let's create a UV. Before we create a UV, let's go to edit, delete all by type, history. Okay, so it's clear, all gone. Before that, we have this history that whatever you added, whatever you changed, it's all listed here. Bevel listed here, but we clear it all. And we go to UV, we can just click automatic, and it'll just create everything automatically. Then we can go to UV editor and have a look. Alright, this is what we got here. And this is what we got here. This is what we got here. So you can click on every single object and then it will show how's the stuff being arranged. And for your info, who doesn't know about UV, it's a texture coordinate. So whenever you want to deal with textures, you need to have a UV. And if the textures are not aligned the proper way, you need to rotate the UV, adjust the UV. So now let's go to a site that comes with lots of free textures. They offer free textures, so we can go to here and you can just simply go to Google and search Polyhaven. So click this. So in Polyhaven, like they have lots of texture free. They have like HDR skies, they have 3D models, they have textures comes with a set that includes a few textures. So now we would like to browse the texture. We'd like to go to wood. Okay, we are looking for wood planks. So I think either this one will work, that one works as well, this one works as well. So depending on which one you like. So I have just downloaded a texture set just now, like which is weathered brown planks. So now go to here. Let me extract the texture files. Okay, so right in here we have the texture, and it comes with roughness, normal, displacement, diffuse, and ambient occlusion. So some of the textures are pretty big in size. So if you want to choose the size, the resolution, you can always go to here. Let's say brown planks, and you can click the triple line button here, and you can see I think by default it just checked all, but I unchecked some of those. I need probably AO, the bump map, the diffuse displacement. If we want to use it, I'll just download together, and we have like normal maps and roughness. So we'll just download first. If we want to use it, we use it. If we don't want to use it, we can just leave it aside. So now we put it back to the side. Okay, so let's go to here, render settings. So in this tutorial, we will be using vray, and once we enter vray, we can just look into here. We can change the sampler type to bucket, from progressive to bucket, and GI settings. It's all by default. No changes needed. Everything is all good. Overrides. So we need to go to environment and let's create a sun. So click create sun, click create sky. So now a sun will be placed right there. A sky will sort of interact with the sun. So when you move the sun's position down, like it will show a dawn sky. If you move it up, it will pretty much show like a strong, bright sky. Okay, because it's like 12 o'clock, the sun's position is here. So we'll just leave it somewhere here. And we'll like to create a base. So click on the plane, press R for scale, scale it up. So that's a base. And to start setting up materials, we need to go to Windows, Rendering, Hypershape. So drag over. Oops, hold on. It got snappy, it snaps to the window. So So we can make it smaller, shrink it down, pull over. Okay, we have to expand, like here, no choice. Okay, so let's go to here and choose this vray MTL. We can zoom out, alternate, right click, zoom out. So we have more space. Okay, so now this is where we load the maps. So we can go to diffuse color and click on this checker, and it allows you to choose. So we can choose file, click file, and from here it creates a node that connects to the shader, and it will connect the color out color to the diffuse color. So go to here, select that, and then choose our map. Okay, copy, Ctrl V, paste, open up, weather, brown, planks, diffuse. There we go. And we can apply right away by selecting our table elements. Select all, Ctrl deselect our ground and the light. Okay, and right click assign material to selection. And right now it turns white, it shows nothing. So in order to preview the texture, we have to click number 6 on the keyboard. And number 7 shows the lighting. Okay, the lighting, it's kind of dark here, and it won't be accurate until we turn on the IPR, like real-time render. So we'll just leave it first for now. Okay, seems nice, but just that the orientations of the texture isn't looking right. I want the planks to go like from left to right, not from top to bottom. But before we adjust that, let's load in another maps. So now go to here, all the way down, select that, bone mapping. You can choose normal map in tangent space, and under maps, click this. Let's go with, let's see if we have a very normal texture. Because in other software, you need to connect to a normal node before you can connect to the basic picture file. But in here, it seems like it doesn't have it. So we can use the default 2D texture from here, file, and select the file and load the texture. Normal, open up. Okay, there we go. And we will have a reflection, and we need roughness. So if we look back to our folder, you can see we have roughness map. So some of the values that they have with a different render, they uses glossiness, but they do have a roughness option. So we can just take roughness, and reflection glossiness means roughness. We can click on it, and we can choose file. And from here, we would like to set and load the file, roughness. Okay. All right. So if this confuses you, we can just pull it down here. And we have 2 other maps. So for the other 2, which is the AO, ambient occlusion, and the displacement, which is a real bump. Okay, a real normal. Okay, normal is just an illusion, but displacement gives you a real thing. And I think what we use normal should be enough for now. But we want to use AO, so copy again. It needs to merge with the diffuse file. So I'm gonna disconnect this. Okay, from here, let's load it again, like diffuse color. We should choose vray. Layer texture. So from that layer texture, we can click to add new items. So layer 1 could be our diffuse. This could be the AO. So from here, texture, we're gonna create and load the file again. And here, let's load our diffuse. And over here, we load our AO file, ambient occlusion. And from the mixing part, we can use multiply. Okay, so now it turns brighter, better. Okay, before we run the actual render, we would like to fix the UV placement. Back to number 6. Okay, so we got no longer have the lights. So now, select this and go to UV editor. Okay, better. Or else like this whole thing like looks too pale and white. We can't see a thing. Turn it off. Right click UV, choose UV, and I would like to double click. Okay, let me choose the face. Right click, two faces. So let's see if I selected all. Nope. To UV shell. Okay, so UV shell means all the stuff, because we have tiny little bits here. So even though we select the big part, the tiny little bits still left behind. So we have to hold Control, right click, choose the UV shell so that we can select the whole thing. So now let's transform and rotate. So after rotate, we might have to spend a bit of time fixing this so that it makes more sense and better. And with the whole thing selected, I would like to kind of shift around so that this doesn't look awkward. And right here, if I want, I can scale it down. So using scale, press R to scale and try to fit it better. Just a little bit. Some manual changes. Of course, we couldn't scale too much. If we scale too much, it might distort the texture. So you gotta be careful on that. Press R, scale it back, and all right, kind of there. Okay, we're done with this. So let's select these two. So right click, select the UV, select all, can try to rotate, Okay, some of the parts like falls on the cracks, falls on the gap of the planks. So we can scale down, press R to scale it down so that the size match better with our top wood. Okay, let's select this, click on that, again, face. So I know that's the piece, so we can just double click and move it just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Next, we have to select this. So I guess they are all in the wrong orientation. Get oriented in the wrong way. So we have to select all and make a rotate. So they look better now, but like these diagonal stuff are still wrong. So we have to fix it one by one. Double click, press E, rotate so that it goes like straight. Double click so that it goes like straight. Double click, it goes straight. Double click, it goes straight. Let's see if this is working. Yeah, it works, but just that they're not aligned. Okay, I think it's fine. Okay, so now we just have to move them so that it's not having the cracks, the gaps that shown on them. Double click and move just a little bit. Move over. Okay, I think it could be nice like if we have a tiny bit of those gaps that show, like here. Face. Come on. Face here. Okay, that's the one. Okay, clean piece. So one here. Alright, so now like there are two parts remaining. Select Alt Yawyee and just rotate. Okay, it's looking good. So now we can turn it off. Close it. So where's our sun? So I guess I'll just move over to the other side and turn on real-time render and have a look. So right now this whole thing looks too bright. So I can go to here, multiplier, and give it a 0.01, 0.05 sort of. And the ground should be getting shaded on its own. So let's go to here and drag a new vray material. And with the ground selected, right click assign material to selection, and let's make it darker. Did I choose the right one? Okay, now I see the changes that's been made. Alright, so you can see some of the textures are shown like clearly. Okay, based on what we set, and then these are the gaps that we have. And with a little bit of normal maps, it just shows you an illusion. It gives you an illusion that there's a bomb, the surface is rough, is not smooth. But from our original model, these are smooth. Okay, one polygon at the top. Okay, but from the render, it looks nice. Okay, so let's tweak a bit of the lighting. Select our Fury Sun, lower it down further. So now you can see like it changes. So we got a sunset lighting. We got our table like here, rustic, rugged look. So we can then build some other stuff and put it on the table. So that would be a great set. And one more thing on the lights. So you can see the shadow looks kind of harsh and over the edges. So if you want these shadows to be softer, we can go to here, size multiplier, and pump it up to 10. So we can get a softer, better shadows. 0.03. And once we're done with the quick preview, like real time, we can go back to here and we can hit the actual render button and have a look. Alright, that's it. That's it for this tutorial. And then I do hope you guys learned something today. And if you have any questions, please leave the comment down below in the comment section. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks.